Sacramento State is genuinely one of the most interesting stories to me coming out of all the craziness of the last 4 years of college football. Is a team that honestly I'd never heard of. And then I recently found out that their most famous alum is Tom Hanks. So then all of a sudden they've decided they're going to try to money whip their way into power college football, into the FBS. And it just feels out of nowhere. Was it out of nowhere, or was it just because they weren't very popular? None of us knew about them.
It is out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I live in the Bay Area, about a couple hours away. Sacramento State has never really entered the conversation. They did make the playoffs a few times recently. Before Troy Taylor got hired by Stanford, he led a little bit of a resurrection. They made the playoffs a couple times. But that was the first time. That was the first time they'd made the playoffs. And then they went back to 3-9 last year. Basketball, they have about as bad a history as you can get. Men's basketball has never been to the NCAA tournament. And then all of a sudden, about a year ago, there was this community effort, a bunch of people deciding, hey, we're going to go all in on this, and raising a lot of money. And most importantly, the president of the university has just decided that this is his number one priority, getting Sacramento State athletics into FBS, into the big time. This is a school that made $100,000 in media revenue last year that now is talking about bringing in millions. I went there the other day, and it's about as modest as you would expect in terms of facilities and the offices and whatnot. And yet Jaden Rashada is there. Everybody remembers Jaden Rashada, top 100, a receiver from Mississippi who took officials to LSU and Ole Miss, was there visiting last weekend. They're like the hot program on social media amongst all the, recruits in the country. And so, one of the reasons I wanted to go is that when I initially started hearing about this stuff, it was easy to just kind of blow it off, but they're not giving up. And as you saw this week, they got their application, or they needed a waiver to move up to FBS because they don't have a conference invite. That waiver was denied. And then the president immediately went on Twitter and said, we're still going to do it. We're still going to get in some way or somehow. So it's got a little bit of a when Dion went to Jackson State kind of element to it.